Fans, did you know UAA Athletics is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram? Follow the Seawolves on your favorite social media platforms for access to all of the latest news, updates, and fan giveaway contests throughout the year.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day of my career, a job that I could still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got for my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond in my community at any time. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
Growing up Alaska makes you, well, a little different. We're an independent bunch, yet we can't get along without each other. We like new things and be happy to do. That's the whole reason we created Club 49, the only travel benefits program made for Alaskans, so you can be you. Alaska Airlines, Club 49.
Game number 2 of the Great Alaska Shootout as the UAA Seawolves get ready to take on the Troy Trojans for the right to advance to the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout Championship game. Hi everybody, Keaton Homer along with you. Glad to have you along here for our nightcap tonight as the Seawolves finally back at home. UAA going on a long road trip to begin the season as they were on the road for 5 straight games. They went 4-5 on that road trip and now back at home here to take on some Division I competition. Seawolves in their last two games, if you just looked at the scores, you'd be like, whoa, the offense is clicking. Well, indeed it is. The Seawolves lighting up the scoreboard against Stanton University, a 139-22 victory, and then a win against Biola, Division II opponent, a 91-36 win against Biola before they come back here to the Alaska Airlines Center to take on Troy. The Troy Trojans off to a little bit of a rough start. They're 1-4 on the young season, but they have played 2 top 25 teams, 2 teams out of the SEC conference, as they lost to Alabama 94-71, coming off a loss against number 7 ranked LSU 98-59, and now making the trip up here. The lone win so far on the season for Troy coming against UT Chattanooga, a 76-66 win last week. As the captains meeting here at Cinecourt prior to the starting lineups being introduced. First ever meeting between UAA and Troy. The Trojans, a very experienced team. There is not an underclassman on this roster. All juniors and seniors on this year's roster for head coach Chandra Rigby. As the Trojans having one of their best seasons last year, is Troy going 22-12, 15-3 in the Sun Belt Conference, finishing second. They went into the postseason, played in the women's NIT, lost in the semifinals of the WNIT last year. Trying to have some repeat success here this season. UAA Seawolves, they come in with a 6-1 record overall, trying to pick up their first wins against a Division I opponent in 2 years. Seawolves in the tournament last year lost to Utah. They lost to the University of Alabama Birmingham in the 3rd place game last year. It was 2 years ago when UAA won it, as they won against LaSalle University in the championship. And trying to get back to the championship game yet again here tonight. As both teams out on the floor getting warmed up, we're about 4 minutes away from our starting lineups. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the pregame show as you're watching Seawolf basketball and the 2024 Great Alaska Shootout. Back here at the Alaska Airlines Center, getting ready for our second game tonight. Seawolves and Trojans getting ready to do battle for the right to play in the championship game. One game already in the books. Earlier, just a few moments ago, going final as the North Dakota State Bison advancing to the championship game with an 8-point win over the Vermont Catamounts, a 58-50 win. They had a huge second half, did the Bison, especially in the third quarter. They were 10 of 12 from the field in the third quarter at 24 points. The Bison trailed by 9 at the break, and they were able to salt it away down the stretch with some free throws and pick up that 8-point win to advance to the championship game. Well, they will take on the winner of this one between the Trojans and the Seawolves. So Ryan McCarthy and company looking to make another Great Alaska Shootout Championship appearance. The Troy Trojans trying to make their first ever Great Alaska Shootout Championship appearance, as the teams heading to their respective benches and getting ready for our introductions here tonight. We'll toss it over to our PA announcer, get the starting lineups for the Troy Trojans and the UAA Seawolves.
Welcome to the Alaska Airlines Center for tonight's Great Alaska Shootout matchup between Troy University and your UAA Seawolves. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for Troy University. At guard, 5'6" senior from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, number 2, Ashley Baez. At forward, a 6'2" junior from Atlanta, Georgia, number 5, Zay Dyer. At forward, a 6' senior from Bambasan City, Cameroon, Number 12, Georgina Injao. At guard, a senior from Detroit, Michigan. Number 13, Shalana Wagner. Also at guard, a 5'11" junior from the Bronx, New York. Gila Morris. The head coach of Troy University is Shanda Rigby. She's assisted by Jennifer Brown, Stephanie Murphy, and Grace Daniels.
14 all.
20 NCAA tournament appearances. The most conference wins in GNAC history. Best facility in the country.
Most D1 wins in D2 history.
This is UAA. This is tradition.
Make some noise for your Seawolves! Here's tonight's lineup for your UAA Seawolves. At guard, 5'9" senior from Port Angeles, Washington. Number 11, Emilia Long. At forward, a 6-foot senior from San Bruno, California. Number 13, Jason Gamble. At forward, a 6'2" freshman from Rangiora, New Zealand. Number 14, Ashlyn Reed. At guard, 5'8" junior from King Cove, Alaska. Number 20, Selena Mack. At forward, a 6'1" junior, Ausleta Deutschland, Philip Slutzy, Anna Kerner. The head coach of the Seawolves is Ryan McCarthy, assisted by Shayna Foa.
Well, here we go. Seawolves wearing special uniforms tonight. The N7 uniforms, the teal jerseys. No, don't adjust your screen. The color is correct. Seawolves last year had the opportunity to wear these special N7 Nike uniforms, recognizing Native Americans and Native Alaskans. Paying tribute to the Native Alaskans here in Alaska, wearing the teal jerseys here tonight with green and gold trim. The Troy Trojans tonight wearing their black uniforms with maroon and white trim, as we're about ready to get underway for the right to advance to tomorrow night's championship game. Amelia Long will go up against Shalana Wagner. As we're underway, and tap controlled by UAA. It was actually Zay Dyer that went up for the tap against Amelia Long. Glad to have you along wherever you're tuned in. Keaton Homer along with you. Should be a fun, entertaining matchup between these two. As Kune quickly on the drive, had that shot erased that time. As the Seawolves come up empty on their opening possession. Trojans wasting no time getting in the front court as they bring it up ahead. And Yehu can't get the shot to go. Ball almost went out of bounds, but Elena Mack able to pick it up in the backcourt. So each team coming up empty on their first possession as Amelia Long, the senior out of Port Angeles, Washington, by way of Cal Poly Humboldt, running the point. Long will launch the three. Friendly bounce for Amelia Long, who's averaging 12.7 points per game. Second in scoring for the She-Wolves, gets them on the board first, leaning in, little contact there. Dyer can't get the shot to fall. Does get her own miss, however. Ball is picked up, stolen away by Jasa Gamble. Long outrunning the floor. Wow! What a bucket by Amelia Long! And a 5-point lead to start for UAA. As Ashley Baez, handles it, gives it up now to Wagner. And Fortuna and gave it up now on the drive, kick it back out here near side. As the ball stolen away briefly, Morris lost it. And Baez, now the shot clock, did it reset? Shot clock's at 16. And I think they're going to go to the scorer's table, get things sorted out here. The timing correct. See where they put it at.
There's not a foul on the play.
As they eye the shot clock here. Definitely a few seconds, maybe at least 5 to 6. And they put 12, all right. So 12 seconds on the shot clock as the Trojans will throw it in. Kalia Morris to trigger the entry pass, and Long got a hand on it, but Wagner able to control it. 7 seconds on the shot clock as Wagner pass to Dyer and can't get the shot to fall. Offensive rebound for Morris, and we'll kick it back out on the perimeter. Little hesitation for Baez, lost it, got it back. Somehow the Trojans maintaining possession of the ball as it's rolling around on the floor, and the Seawolves finally come away with it. It looked like a ping pong ball out there for a moment. As Amelia Long, 15-footer, left it short. Ashlyn Reen can't get the offensive rebound, and Jasa Gamble will pick up the offensive foul.
Foul on number 13, Jasa Gamble, her first.
Gamble picks up her first, team's first. 7:43 to go here in the opening quarter. As the Seawolves with a 5-0 lead. Wagner in the front court. Now here's Morris. Morris dished it off, loose on the floor. Seawolves force another turnover. Second turnover by the Trojans here in the opening quarter. Amelia Long. Hedda Kune traveled. Shuffled the feet before putting the ball on the floor and turns it over. First turnover by the Seawolves here tonight. As Gamble guarding Wagner. Dyer off the glass, too strong. Jasa Gamble pushing the tempo. Elena Mack traveled before she launched the three. So back-to-back turnovers here by UAA. As Shalana Wagner, a senior out of Detroit, Michigan, brings it across the timeline as Wagner will back it out now, picked up by Jazz Evans, lost the handle on it, turned it over. Jazz coming in, creating the turnover. And the Seawolves will get possession of it here with 6:48 to go in the opening quarter as Ashlyn Reen will throw it in here from the near sideline. Gamble, top of the key. As Hollingshead hands it off, Elena Mack can't get the friendly bounce. As the Trojans come away with the basketball as Morris pushing it, gives it up. As Dyer trying to get it to Morris again, and Jasa Gamble gets the tie up. Arrow will keep it with Troy, however.
Possession. Troy.
So the Trojans will throw it in here in the front court as Morris throws it in. Baez. Spun, fell to the floor. Is it a travel? Yes, it is. I'm going to say, you're going to have one of two things. Either there was a foul there by UAA or there was a travel. Let the foul go. Travel was called as Baez fell to the floor. As Jazz Evans, the senior out of Shorewood, Illinois, brings it up the floor. Janiyah Alexander down low. Tori Hollingshead lays it up and in. The 6'3" senior makes it a 7-point lead for UAA as we're almost halfway through this opening quarter. And Yehu, top of the key, gives it up. Now sets the screen for Baez. Here's Wagner. 10 on the shot clock. Lovitt to Dyer down low. She lost it out of bounds. Trojans yet to figure out this mayhem style of defense from Ryan McCarthy.
Checking in for Troy.
As they have struggled hanging on to the basketball. That's the 5th turnover by Troy here in the opening quarter.
Also, number 1, Brianna Figueroa.
Troy averaging 19 turnovers per game as Hollingshead leans in, draws the foul, and Torrey will go to the free throw line.
Foul on number 12 for Troy, Fortuna Injawo. That's her first.
So Torrey Hollingshead at the free throw line. First free throws tonight for the Seawolves, and the senior knocks down the first one. Torrey on the season, 63%. Now 13 of 20 from the free throw line. Knocks down a pair. And the Seawolves off to a great start here, a 9-0 lead. Pass into the front court, into the hands of Brianna Jackson. Jackson can't get the shot to go. Seawolves come away with it. Evans quickly up ahead. Janiyah back to Jazz Evans. Jazz almost fumbled it away, but corrals it. As Jazz will step back, here's Reen at the free throw line. Ashlyn Reen fading away a little bit, can't get it to go. Alexander fighting for it, got to it and traveled with it. As Janiyah Alexander came flying in there, ended up turning it over, however. But the Seawolves have a 9-0 lead with 4:45 remaining in the opening quarter against Troy. We'll step aside. You're watching the 2024 Great Alaska Shootout.
Fans, let's hear you raise the roof for the Alaska Roof Restoration T-shirt time.
Specializing in the inspection, repair, and restoration of existing flat, low-slope, and metal roofs. Our completely seamless system seals out water and is proven to perform in Alaska's tough climate, offering a long-lasting, cost-effective, sustainable alternative to traditional re-roofing. Plus, with maintenance reapplication and our renewable warranty, your roof can last the life of the building. Contact us today for a free quote. AlaskaRoofRestorations.com.
Well, the Seawolves off to a good start here tonight. 3 of 7 from the field, 9 points, leading 9-0 as Troy 0 of 6 from the field. As head coach Shanda Rigby looking for some answers here in the first few moments of the opening quarter. Trojans have turned the basketball over 5 times here so far, as Dyer up ahead throws it into the hands of Leilani Guyon. Dyer down low, finally able to get one up and in, as Zay Dyer, averaging 11.2 points per game, gets the Trojans' first bucket. That one off the heel from Evans that time, and they whistle after the missed shot, and a foul going to be called against UAA. Seawolves pick up their second team foul. Ashlyn Reen called for her first foul. As Wagner in the front court, top of the key, will hand it off to Guyon. Dyer, great move, but can't finish. As Elena Mack comes away with it, and Dyer called for the reach-in foul.
Foul called on number 5 for Troy, Zay Dyer.
Zay Dyer, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Georgia State, picks up the foul. She'll check out of the game as Emma Amebure will check in. 6'4" senior out of London, England. Seeing her first minutes here tonight. Seawolves swing it to Elena Mack. First three-point field goal knocked down for Elena Mack here. Second three-point bucket by the Seawolves here in the first half. Thrown in the backcourt. Amelia Long got to it. Who touched it first? I guess Wagner touched it first for the over and back. Amelia Long was there trying to get to it, and fortunate that Amelia Long didn't dribble it out of bounds and give it back to Troy. It would have been an easy over and back call. Amelia making it maybe a little harder than it needed to be to get possession of the basketball, but nevertheless, Seawolves get it. Coming up on 3 minutes to play, as Long at the top of the key finds Mack on the right wing for 3. Into the front court, Brianna Peguero brought it up ahead. Leaning in, Wagner left it short, trying to get to it, knocks it out of bounds. And the Seawolves will get it. 10-point lead for UAA, as Hedda Kune will check back in and give Tori Hollingshead a rest.
Number 25. For Troy, number 2, Ashley Baez.
As Amelia Long brings it up ahead for UAA. Ashlyn Reen. First points for Reen tonight. And the Seawolves off to a great start here in the opening quarter. Deep three off the heel that time from Peguero. And the Trojans going to take a timeout as UAA has a 14-2 lead with 2:23 remaining in the opening quarter.
The Alaska Airlines mileage plan is the industry leader. You earn a mile for every mile you
Trojans so far here in the opening frame, 1 of 10 from the field. 0 for 1 from behind the three-point line. They have 6 turnovers. Seawolves, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. They've turned the ball over 3 times. Out rebounding the Trojans are the Seawolves, 8-6 so far. I don't think you could have drawn up a better start for UAA tonight. as Elena Mack will hand it off to Long. Mack on the wing, comes off the screen to Kune. 10 on the shot clock for the Seawolves to work with. Reen will shoot the three, left it a little short. Ball picked up by Brianna Peguero, and then throws it up ahead, goes out of bounds, off the fingertips of Dyer.
Checking in for UAA, number 1, Kenzie Sirovich.
Mack from the corner left it short that time. And Kinsey Sirowicz trying to save it. Unable to keep it alive. Steps on the baseline and gives the basketball back to Troy here. Up along the near sideline, Ashley Baez. Figueroa got a touch now in the corner. Guy on the three. Leilani Guyon, senior out of Orlando, Florida, knocks down the triple. Seawolves trying to answer. Dyer with a big rebound there. Throws it up ahead. Figueroa now in transition, goes up. Circus shot, almost got it to fall. Elena Mack will pick it up. Mack over to Long, lays it up and in. Points in transition for UAA that time. That three, by the way, for Leilani Guyon. It's only her second made three-point bucket of the season. As Kune got a hand on it, bats it away from Dyer. Here comes Long in transition yet again for the Seawolves. 33 seconds remaining. Bounce pass down low. What a pass by Long to Sirowicz. Shot clock is off, and a blocking foul going to be called against Hedda Kune. And it will lead to a couple of free throws coming up for Troy as Brianna Peguero will go to the free throw line, the senior out of Houston, Texas.
Brianna Peguero to the line. Shooting 2.
As Peguero knocks down the free throw, Brianna Peguero on the season. First free throw attempts of the year. And she knocks down both of them. Shot clock is off. The Seawolves out in front. 18-7. As Long will give it up to Sirowicz out on the perimeter. Here's Gamble. Back to Sirowicz. From the elbow, Kune can't get the shot to fall. And was there a foul?
At the end of the first quarter, it's Troy 7.
The horn sounded, but when did the foul come in? As Amelia Long was trying to get to it. They're going to go to the monitor here to check if the foul occurred prior to the end of the quarter. I don't think it would have been a shooting foul nevertheless. It would have been the fourth team foul against Troy. And there would only be maybe a couple of tenths of a second left on the clock here at the end of the first quarter.
Scan now for a chance to win a free Series 9 Apple Watch.
So we'll see what comes up from the review of when this foul occurred. Seawolves off to a great start here in the opening quarter. 7 of 17 from the field, 41%. While the Troy Trojans, they're 2 of 12 from the field, 16%. So now the officials, after the review, talking it over, see what comes from it here. UAA will have the basketball. How much time is on the clock? 2/10, maybe?
Participating in the Benton Bay Athletic Lions 50-50 raffle. Raffle tickets are on sale now. 1 for $1, 6 for $5, or 13 for $10. Watch for the goal.
So the foul occurred after time expired in the first quarter. So it's just going to count as a personal foul against Troy. So no foul gets charged here since it was actually after the quarter ended. So we are at the end of the first quarter. We'll step aside here briefly. Seawolves out in front 18-7. Here in the 2024 Great Alaska Shootout.
Whether you're playing on the court or in the drum section, keep moving with Moda. Experience better health insurance with Moda Health.
Get ready to start the second quarter. So again, the foul occurred after time expired in the first quarter, so no official foul. As we start quarter number 2, Seawolves will have the basketball. As Kinsey Sirowicz will throw it in to start the second quarter. Kune travel. Tori Hollingshead will come in for Hedda. So Zay Dyer to throw it in. The Seawolves turn the ball over for the 4th time here in the first half. As Baez gives it up to Dyer. Seawolves got a hand on it yet again, but Figueroa able to hang on to it. Here's a 3 by Baez. Offline, and it goes into the hands of the Seawolves as Guyon knocked it right into the hands of Sirowicz. Jasa Gamble bumped and fouled as Leilani Guyon charged with the foul. It'll be her first, team's first. Noah Muranaka seeing her first action here in the second quarter into the game for UAA. Long 2-pointer by Sirowicz. Offline, Muranaka got to it. Gives it up to Sirowicz for the bucket. What hustle by Noah Muranaka. Seawolves almost forced a turnover in the backcourt as Jasa Gamble went flying into the stands. But the Trojans will bring it up the floor. As Baez steps through, left it short, Long with the rebound, Amelia Long. Straightaway 3, Sirowicz. Rebound hauled in by Jackson. Transfer out of Oklahoma State. Jackson calling for it. Instead, a 3 from the left wing, in and out that time from Baez. Jackson does get an offensive rebound and will kick it back out. Guyon again for 3, knocks it down. Second 3-point bucket for Leilani Guyon. Gets the Trojans back within 10. Long on the drive with the left hand. Able to finish high off the glass. As Baez fouled by Sirowicz along the far sideline.
Foul on number 1, Kenzie Sirowicz for the Seawolves.
As each team making a handful of substitutions here.
Jasper Evans.
As Wagner, Morris,
Janiyah Alexander.
and Inyehu
Tori Hollingshead.
all checking back in for the Trojans. Evans, Mack, Alexander, and Reen on the floor for the Seawolves after that substitution. And another foul against UAA. Second team foul against the Seawolves. And the foul was called against Janiyah Alexander. Actually, it was Tori Hollingshead. 21, not 2. They picked up the foul. Hollingshead's first. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Wagner will launch the 3. Left it well short. Rebound by Guyon. Can't get the putback to go. Gets her own miss. And is fouled. Great work by Leilani Guyon.
Foul on number 2 for UAA, Janiyah Alexander.
Sticking with it. And Janiyah Alexander this time does pick up the foul. It'll be her first. Third team foul of the second quarter against the Seawolves. As Guyon will throw it in. Hollingshead got a hand on it. Here's Evans. Jazz finds Elena Mack. Janiyah Alexander with the offensive rebound as Evans at the elbow, 15 feet, buries it. As Jazz Evans scores her first bucket tonight. 14-point lead, Seawolves force a turnover. As Evans surveying the floor, she brings it up ahead. A little hesitation by Evans that time. Evans. Green off the bounce. Lost it out of bounds.
Out of bounds, ball to Troy.
Largest lead of the game for UAA, 14 points.
Into the game for Troy, number 23, Adriana Jones.
As Wagner in the backcourt, picked up by Evans. Shalana Wagner. Guarded tightly by Evans. 10 on the shot clock. As Wagner gives it up. Morris throws it back out to Dyer now. 4 on the shot clock. The 3 from the left wing. From Jones, can't get it. The putback is good, however, by Fortuna and Yehu. As Mack on the perimeter, steps inside the arc, missed everything that time. It'll go out of bounds. As Jasa Gamble and Amelia Long getting set to check back in for UAA.
Seawolves, number 13, Jasa Gamble, and number 11, Amelia Long.
As Evans and Janiyah Alexander will check out. Kind of a tough pass to handle in the corner as Wagner picked it up there off the entry. As Wagner along the far side will put on the brakes. Back it out slightly. Wagner on the drive, the runner too strong. The follow is good, however, from Fortuna and Yehu.
Fortuna and Jowl for Troy.
As Mack finds Reen in the paint. Reen will kick it back out. Corner 3, Elena Mack. No, Reen can't quite get the offensive rebound. Nice play by Jones to save it from going out of bounds. Baseline drive. And stepping on the baseline was Kalia Morris.
Checking in for UAA, number 25, Heather.
As Kyla Morris turns it over. It's the 11th turnover the Trojans have committed here in the first half.
Media timeout.
Brings us to a break in the action. 4:53 remaining in the first half. Seawolves out in front by 10, 24-14. You're watching the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout.
Courtesy of Pizza Hut to give out to only the loudest and proudest fans. No one else pizzas for Hut. And loud.
Pizza, the official sponsor of Seawolf Athletics. Some lucky fans getting a chance to get a little bit of dinner here at the Alaska Airlines Center. Seawolves leading by 10, 24-14. The Troy Trojans, they have a lot of new faces on this year's squad. They have 9 newcomers from last year's team that made that run into the semifinals of the women's NIT. So you kind of get the feeling for Coach Rigby that it's just a matter of trying to get these players on the same page and a little bit of chemistry here early on this season. And a little out of sorts here tonight against UAA as well, but credit the Seawolves and their defense that they have played for disrupting the Troy Trojans as Ashlyn Rain off the glass, lays it up and in. Skip pass here to the near side as Morris gets tied up. No, not a held ball. A foul going to be called against UAA. It's the 4th team foul.
Foul number 20 for UAA, Elena Mack.
There's the foul called against Elena Mack, which is her first. Amelia Long leading the Seawolves in points so far tonight. 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Leilani Guyon leading the Troy Trojans with 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting. All 6 of her points coming from behind the arc. Figueroa, top of the key, gives it up. Baez, deep 3, in and out. Long picks up the rebound. Long comes off the screen, pull-up jumper. Nice rebound that time by Shalana Wagner. As Figueroa will kick it back out. Wagner on the drive, kicks it back out. Figueroa launches the 3 off the front of the iron. Amelia Long has Reen out in front. Ashlyn Reen lays it up and in. Seawolves force another turnover. Jasa Gamble now is fouled. As she collides into the stanchion, and Jasa Gamble will go to the free throw line. Gamble on the season, an 81% free throw shooter. 9 of 11 from the stripe on the young year as Amelia Long checks out. Jazz Evans will come back onto the floor.
Also in for Troy, number 22, Brianna Jackson. Jason Campbell, shoot 2.
As Gamble knocks down the free throw, Seawolves as a team perfect from the line, 3 for 3. As Gamble knocks down a pair. $16-point advantage for the Seawolves. As Wagner in the backcourt briefly double team, gives it up ahead. And the turnover as Jamerica Roberson turns it over. Open three for Mack. Timeout, Troy. Elena Mack makes it a 33-14 lead. She was left all alone. I'm not sure how one of the best shooters on the Seawolves squad gets that open, but it happened and Elena Mack made him pay.
Alaska Highway Safety reminds everyone to drive sober or get pulled over. Together we can create safer roads and a healthier future for all Alaskans. Drive safe.
The Seawolves couldn't have dreamed a better start than what they've had here this evening. And it's been the exact opposite for the Trojans. It's been nightmarish. They've turned the ball over 13 times. They have not shot well, 5 of 24 from the field. The Seawolves have capitalized on their mistakes. 17 points off turnovers for UAA. Racing into the front court, Baez. We'll give it up to Amani Jenkins briefly. Ball knocked out of bounds. Janaya got a hand on it. Forces the inbound pass by Troy here from the near side. As Amani Jenkins, the junior from Dallas, Texas, throws it in. Pedakune got a hand on it, forces the turnover. Evans brings the ball across the timeline for UAA, and an offensive foul against Ashlyn Reen.
Offensive foul on number 14, Ashlyn Reen.
Reen was never set.
Her second.
So the second foul against Reen. She tried to set the screen. As Wagner, top of the key. Jenkins will launch the three and bury it. Amani Jenkins knocks down her 6th three of the season. Shoots it right around 23% on the young year. Buries that three-pointer. 3rd three that the Trojans have knocked down here in the opening half. As Evans steps back, 5 on the shot clock, as Reen will hand it off. Mack for 3 again. Left it short that time. Pedakune with an offensive rebound. It's only the 5th offensive rebound the Seawolves have had. Corner 3 by Evans. As Guyon got a brief touch, and now here's Wagner working off the bounce, hangs, fires, knocks it down. Shalana Wagner, the senior gets the bucket. First points tonight for Wagner. Reverse by Reed. Lays it up and in. Guyon went up, traveled. And Leilani Guyon trying to say she went up. She dropped it to start her dribble. And Shalana Wagner coming over to plead the case as well, trying to help out her teammate. But it's a turnover nevertheless. Shot clock can go off here, 26.9 seconds. Seawolves getting the basketball. So the Seawolves can hold for the final shot of the first half. Alexander, top of the key, will hand it off to Jazz. Time ticking down, 10 seconds. As Janiyah finds Hollingshead down low, and Tori Hollingshead is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. Hollingshead already 2 for 2 from the stripe here this evening. As Hollingshead buries the first free throw. It's 1 out of 2. As Ashley Baez pulls it down, 2 seconds remaining. Wagner, good if it goes. It's off the side of the rim. What a fantastic first half for the UAA Seawolves as they take a 20-point lead into the locker room as they lead 39-19. Amelia Long and company putting in some work there in the first 20 minutes. Can they keep it up in the second half? We'll see. We'll step aside. We'll come back, take a look at the first half stats, and also recap our first game from this year's Great Alaska Shootout. Seawolves out in front, 39-19 at the break.
1 for $1, 6 for $5, or 13 for $10. Watch for the goal, and you may win the green. The pot is up well over $1,000 so far. All right, fans, let's make some noise for our contestant. It's Brian. Brian has 1 try to make a half-court shot. If he makes it, he'll win a round-trip ticket to anywhere that Alaska Airlines flies. Good luck, Brian. Short. Good try, Brian. Family owned and operated since 1955, Avis, Alaska is proud to support Seawolf Athletics. Great cars, great price, great service. Avis, Alaska. to the court, Teresa and Grace. Teresa and Grace will take on each other in ConocoPhillips. Whoever clears their cans first or the most within 30 seconds wins. And the winner receives a hoodie and a tumbler.
Cheap and disposable. In 14 years, they are decomposable.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's all look up. I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you. Let's all look up. I lift you up. Proceed to party. Proceed to party.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beer runs down front of my back. Well, that, my friend, is right.
And your winner is Teresa. Teresa wins a hoodie and a tumbler. Thanks for taking each other on in ConocoPhillips.
One in 5 Americans deal with mental health conditions every year. No matter who you are, it's okay to ask for help. So don't wait. Premier Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Here at halftime at the Alaska Airlines Center, the Seawolves out in front of the Troy Trojans, 39-19 in our second game of the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout. As UAA looking impressive through the first 20 minutes as we take a look at some of the numbers. Seawolves as a team, they were 15 of 32 from the field, 46%. They were 4 of 12 from behind the arc, 33%, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. They also had 17 rebounds and 12 assists, did the Seawolves. Seawolves took great care of the basketball in that first half. They had only 6 turnovers they committed in those first 20 minutes. UAA led by the 9 points of Amelia Long on 4 of 6 shooting, had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Only played 11 minutes in that first half, did Amelia Long, but really paced the Seawolves. Ashlyn Reen with 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting and 16 minutes of action. Reen also with a couple of steals as well. Elena Mack, 6 points, all of which have come from behind the arc. 2 of 10 shooting, though, for Elena Mack in that first half. 2 of 8 from behind the arc in 18 minutes. 4 points for Kinsey Sirowich, and 5 points for Jazz Evans, and 5 for Tori Hollingshead in the first half. Take a look at the numbers for the Troy Trojans as a squad. They were 7 of 27 from the field, 25%, 3 of 11 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, had 19 rebounds. They had 4 assists. They committed 15 turnovers in the first half. They were led by the 6 points of Leilani Guyon. All 6 of her points coming from behind the arc on 2 of 3 shooting. Also had a couple of rebounds as well to Guyon. 4 points in the first half for Fortuna and Yehu on 2 of 3 shooting. Couple of points for Wagner. No points for Ashlyn Baez in half number 1. The team's leading scorer, averaging 12.8 points per game. Yet to get a bucket. She was 0 for 4 in the first half, 0 of 3 from behind the three-point line. Dyer with a couple of points. Peguero also with 2 and 3 points for Jenkins in the first half. So the Seawolves, like I mentioned a couple of times, if you're Ryan McCarthy, you could not have thought of a better start for your team. And the way things started in the first half. Seawolves at the end of the first quarter led 18-7. Seawolves scored 21 more points in the second quarter, outscored Troy 21-12 in quarter number 2. And I think the biggest thing is turnovers and points off the turnovers. Seawolves forcing those 15 turnovers at 18 points off of them. So I'm sure Troy head coach Shanda Rigby wanting to take better care of the basketball, but the Seawolf defense, Troy probably has not seen anything like the pressure that UAA constantly showcases in the game. And kind of took them a little while to figure out the pressing and trapping style that the Seawolves use. Kind of got things under control in the late stages of that first half, but certainly want to take better care of the basketball if you're the Trojans. Mentioned that there was another game that already went final earlier today. Vermont and North Dakota State, the Bison of North Dakota State, advancing to the championship game tomorrow after they won 58-50 over Vermont. North Dakota State trailed by 9 at the end of the first half, had a 24-point third quarter to erase that 9-point deficit, and then go on to win. As North Dakota State was led by the 15 points of Molly Lenz. And also got 11 points from Abby Kraswinski as well. Help power the Bison into the championship game. Now they will take on the winner of this matchup between the Seawolves and the Trojans. As both teams making their way out of the locker room, getting ready for the second half. Troy Trojans trying to get in the win column as they have had a rough start to the season. Lost their first 3 games. As Troy playing at Buffalo, at Montana State, at Alabama, at UT Chattanooga, and then at LSU to start the year. They're 1-4 to start the season, yet to have a home game this season. The Trojans, after this road trip, will have one more road game on December the 1st, and then finally get a home game on December the 4th against Oakwood. And then they will take on the Memphis Tigers on December the 14th as well. But an interesting start to the season in terms of the schedule for the Trojans and the number of road games they played so far. So we get ready for the second half. As teams will switch directions, UAA will work left to right here in the second half, Troy right to left. See Ryan McCarthy in the middle of the huddle there. I don't know if I've ever seen Coach McCarthy smile so often as he did in that first half. It seemed like anything he called and the Seawolves ran, it worked. We'll see if some adjustments are made by Troy here. Kyla Morris throws it in. We're underway here in the third quarter. Amelia Long got a hand on it as Fortuna Inyehu handled it for a second. Wagner Inyehu now against Long, gets past Long, can't get the shot to fall. The putback is good by Zay Dyer. So the Trojans get a bucket to start the third. Neda Kune pulls up mid-range, left it short. Kune gets the offensive rebound. As Long will back it out, 13 on the shot clock. As Mack at the free throw line, 15-footer, gets the friendly bounce. Mack now with 8 points. First 2-point field goal that Mack has knocked down. Count the bucket and one for Fortuna Inyehu.
Basket for number 12, Fortuna Injawa.
So the junior out of Cameroon with the bucket. Trying to make it a 3-point play here. That foul was called against Neda Kune, which was her second. Hollingshead. Long. Top of the key. Can't get the 17-footer to fall. Ashley Baez yet to score. Trojans leading scorer. 0 for 4 from the field. And Yehu blocking foul against Tori Hollingshead. Kind of see the game plan here in the first few moments of the third quarter by Troy. Work the ball down into the low post. As they've gotten the ball into the hands of Fortuna Yehu. And she's back at the free throw line. And knocks down the first. Second free throw for the left-handed shooter. Can't get it to go, but Jason Gamble steps on the baseline and gives it right back to Troy. Wagner gets the entry pass on the far wing. And Yehu can't get that shot to fall. Ashlyn Reen with the rebound. Gamble, pass broken up, but gets it right back. Mack. Nice find, Ashlyn Reen along the baseline. Good ball movement by the Seawolves. Hollingshead can't get the shot to fall. And a foul called against UAA as it's whistled against Jason Gamble.
It's her second of the game.
.7:35 remaining here in the third quarter. As Wagner into the front court, gives it up. And Yehu calling for it, gets it. Will kick it back out, Baez. Dyer in the high post. Dyer spinning. Off-balance shot. Seawolves come away with the rebound. Ashlyn Reen now across the timeline. Reen will keep it herself. Can't get it, too strong. Put back, however, is good by Hollingshead. Makes it 43-25. As Wagner on the drive, hangs, count the bucket and one for Shalana Wagner.
Shalana Wagner with the basket and one.
Second bucket that Wagner has hit tonight, and a chance to go to the free throw line to complete the three-point play. The foul was called against Janiyah Alexander, which is her second. It's the fourth team foul against UAA with 6:46 remaining in this third quarter. So you'd have to imagine that Troy going to be aggressive attacking the paint yet again on their next trip down the floor, trying to pick up that fifth foul against the Seawolves. As the pass broken up, Wagner comes away with it. Wagner has that erased that time by Reen. As Ashlyn Reen gets the block shot after she turned it over initially. And Yehu.
Two-point basket for Fortuna Jowell.
Hollingshead got a hand on it, corrals it up ahead. Jason Gamble lays it up and in as the Seawolves handle the press nicely, convert the bucket, but it's the Trojans getting out in the front court, laying it up and in after the made bucket. Pace picking up a little bit here as Ashley Baez had that last bucket for the Trojans. And then Yehu with the steal. The layup on the other end. Timeout, Seawolves. As now UAA leads by 11 at 45-34 as Troy has gone on a little bit of a run here.
Friends, we have a winner in tonight's Pregame Lions and UAA.
The Troy Trojans here in the third quarter.
The winner will receive
6 of 10 from the field. They've scored 15 points.
Ticket number is
As they have climbed back to within 11.
3, 5. Again, that's number 2, 2, 1.
It's Ryan McCarthy trying to slow the run that the Trojans have been on over the last handful of minutes here.
WBB Lions Club members. And thanks to everyone who participated in the WBB Lions Club 15.
Seawolves letting the Trojans go on a 9-2 run over the last minute. As Troy has hit 4 of their last 5. Fortuna and Yehu has hit 3 of her last 4 shots from the field, as in Yehu now with 12 points here so far tonight. And Yehu averaging 10.2 points per game through 5 games on the season. Out of the timeout, Seawolves with the basketball as Evans in the backcourt, guarded tightly by Baez as Jazz brings it across the timeline. Jazz fouled by Dyer.
Foul number 5 for Troy,
Zay Dyer picks up her 3rd foul. Not sure what Dyer's doing out all the way near half court, trying to guard Jazz Evans, already playing with 2 fouls. Picking up her 3rd there. Hollingshead on the drive with the right hand, lays it up and in. Strong move by Tori Hollingshead. Hollingshead now with 9 points. Amelia Long credited with the assist. It's her 3rd. Actually, check that, her 4th. Count the bucket and 1 for Fortuna and Yehu. So Fortuna and Yehu at the free throw line, trying to complete the 3-point play yet again.
Foul number 13. Gamble checking into the game.
Foul was called against Jasa Gamble, which is her 3rd, as Jasa will take a seat on the bench here. As Yehu buries the free throw. Right now the Seawolves have not had an answer really for Yehu here in this 3rd quarter. 10-point lead. Seawolves out in front. They have led throughout tonight as UAA. They've never trailed. As Guyon forced the turnover, then Hollingshead gets tied up with Guyon, and the arrow will keep it with UAA. And it brings us to the timeout here in the 3rd quarter. 5 minutes remaining. 10-point advantage, 47-37. UAA out in front. We'll step aside. You're watching the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout.
Today, your Club 49 perks include 2 free bags when you travel to and from Alaska. 2 30% off Travel Now discounts annually, exclusive weekly fare sales, and freight for less. That's Club 49. UAA to inbound.
Seawolves have the basketball out of the break here as Elena Mack will throw it in. Mack for three. Mack now in double figures, leading the Seawolves with 11 points. And a foul going to be called here against UAA. It's going to lead to a couple of shots. Seawolves are over the limit. The foul called against Janiyah Alexander, and that's her third. Alexander with three and Jasa Gamble with three. As Shalana Wagner at the stripe for a couple of shots. And Wagner knocks down the first. Wagner, a 64% free throw shooter on the season, 9 of 14 coming into tonight. As Wagner buries a couple of free throws. And an official timeout here. Shot clock never ran. And so they'll reset the shot clock. Take 4 seconds off the shot clock. Make sure the time at 4:44 is correct as well. They set it to 4:40. And 26 seconds on the shot clock here. Ashlyn Rain will throw it in from the far sideline. Hollingshead gives it up. Amelia Long on the drive, a little too strong. Can't get it to fall. Had a good look at it, just couldn't finish. And a chance for the Trojans to cut it to a single-digit deficit here with a bucket. And Yehu, strong move. Too strong on the shot, however, as Ashlyn Reen comes away with the rebound. Mack didn't pull the trigger on the three that time. As Reen had it poked away, tracks it back down. 12 on the shot clock as Mack will give it up to Alexander. Janiyah out of the perimeter. Deep three by Long. Yehu comes away with the basketball and the rebound. It's the 7th rebound by Fortuna and Yehu. Trojans out rebounding the Seawolves 25-23. Tough shot by Wagner, but able to knock it down. And it's a 9-point lead now for UAA. As Amelia Long into the front court, puts on the brakes. Will give it up. Kune, Muranaka, and Sirowicz getting set to check in for the Seawolves as Long can't hit it from 15. Offensive board by Alexander. Janiyah lost it, still loose on the floor. And a wrestling match for the basketball as the arrow will give it to Troy. Yeah, really physical there for a moment. As Ashley Baez got tangled up with Janiyah Alexander. And nothing more out of it than just a hell ball, potentially. Now we're ready to go. Peguero in the front court. Wagner. As Dyer turned it over, up ahead to Amelia Long. Long will keep it, lay it. A little too strong yet again. As the ball went out of bounds, initially it was called in favor of Troy, but UAA will get it back. Well, a couple of shots by Amelia Long where she's gotten to the 10 but couldn't get it to fall. Muranaka knocks it down. First points tonight for Noah Muranaka. Racing into the front court. Here's Peguero. Can't get that one to fall as Sirowicz comes away with the rebound. And a foul in the backcourt against Brianna Peguero.
Foul number 1 for Troy. Brianna Peguero. It's her first.
First foul against Peguero. It's the second team foul against the Trojans. Hedakune finds Miranaka. Evans, nice cut. Evans with the left hand. What a play by Jasper Evans. Wagner all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. Wagner now in double figures with 11. Here comes Long racing into the front court. Both these teams flying up and down the floor here in this third quarter. Evans hangs and fires. Can't get it to fall as Wagner will pick up the defensive rebound. Coming up on 90 seconds to play here in the third as Wagner coast to coast, counted and one for Shalana Wagner. Just did have enough English on it to get it up and in. As Wagner will go to the free throw line. A foul was called against Hedakune, which is her second, as Wagner at the stripe. 3 for 3 from the free throw line. As Wagner completes the three-point play, gets Troy back within 8. Taking a moment here to wipe up some moisture on the floor. Troy outscoring the Seawolves here in the third quarter so far, 27-15. As Amelia Long bumped and fouled. Foul going to be called against Amani Jenkins.
Foul number 3 for Troy. Amani Jenkins.
As Jenkins picks up her first foul. Long. Nice pass to Evans. Evans somehow found Long, and Long counted and one for Amelia. How in the world did that work?
2 and 1.
Wow.
Brianna Peguero. It's her second.
Foul against Peguero as Amelia Long at the free throw line. Long threw it up ahead to Evans, and it looked like she was falling out of bounds. Somehow found Amelia Long. And then Amelia able to take it the rest of the way, draw the contact, and now at the free throw line. First free throw attempts tonight for Long. And she cannot complete the three-point play. And the ball will go to Troy as it was last touched by Kinsey Sirowicz. Wagner, great defense by Amelia Long. And now a reach-in foul going to be called against Long after the switch. Switched on to Ashley Baez there. Baez will go to the free throw line as Amelia Long picks up her first foul. So Baez at the free throw line. First free throw attempts tonight for Baez. 75% free throw shooter, makes good on the first.
At the line for Troy, Ashley Baez.
Baez came in leading the Trojans in scoring per game. As Baez knocks down a pair of free throws. Came in averaging close to 13 points per game. Baez so far tonight has 4 points, half of which have come from the free throw line. Hollingshead. Here's Amelia Long with the left-handed dribble. We'll back it out now. Under a minute to play here in the third. Eight-point lead for UAA. Hollingshead. Sirowicz. Deep into the shot clock here for the Seawolves. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And Long gets the shot off, hits the iron, and it is tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Seawolves. Desperation three-point attempt from Amelia Long. And it was Fortuna and Yehu who tapped it out of bounds. The Seawolves will hang on to it. Elena Mack. About a 9-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. As Evans looking at the sideline. Now Jazz with 5. Evans, deep three. Offline, a whistle. And a foul called against UAA. So Elena Mack picks up the foul, which is her second, and it puts Wagner at the free throw line. And a chance to cut it to a 2-possession game here for Troy if Wagner can hit both, but misses the first. Wagner hits 1 out of 2. 9 seconds remaining as Amelia Long will bring it across the timeline. Long, Hollingshead, baseline jumper, yes. And that will do it for the third quarter. But the Troy Trojans able to battle back. And they get to within 9 at the end of 3 quarters. Seawolves out in front, 58-49 as we get ready for the final 10 minutes of action. We'll step aside. You're watching the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout.
Fans, it's time to announce the winner of the free Apple Watch. The answer to the question was 4 3-pointers in the first half. UAA had 4 3-pointers in the first half. The winner is Lorianne Zimmer. Please check your email and make your way to the PA table immediately after the game. Show us the email, claim your prize.
We get ready to start quarter number 4. Seawolves out in front, 58-49. The Troy Trojans able to battle back. They outscored UAA 30-19 in that third quarter. They trailed by 20 points at the break. They only trailed by 9 here to start the final 10 minutes. Troy taking much better care of the basketball in that third quarter. Only had 2 turnovers in that third quarter. They had 15 turnovers in the first half, but able to hang on to the basketball and then also capitalize on their shot attempts. They were 10 of 16 from the field in that third quarter. Evans, a little hesitation, drives in, will kick it back out. Elena Mack for 3. Left it a little short that time as the rebound hauled in by Ashley Baez. Throw it up ahead. Dyer attacks and lays it up and in. As Zay Dyer gets the bucket and it gets Troy within 7. Evans for 3. And a whistle away from the basketball, and the foul going to be called against Fortuna Inyehu, which is her second foul. As Jasa Gamble will check in, as Jazz Evans will check out of the game. Gamble, nice cut. Lays it up and in. Nice inbound play that time, ran by UAA. As Wagner on the drive, trying to answer, wild shot. Dyer, the putback, gets it to go. Zay Dyer, back-to-back buckets, and the Seawolves call timeout with 9:03 remaining, just underway here in the fourth quarter. Second timeout taken by Ryan McCarthy. Troy's done a good job here in the second half. Even after a made Seawolf bucket, they have wasted no time getting into the front court. And they've been aggressive, have the Trojans. Attacking the rim. Points in the paint. Almost even, 32-30 favoring Troy. The majority of those points in the paint coming here in the second half. Troy had 8 points in the paint in the first half. You see the game plan by Coach Rigby. Get the ball into the low post, get Fortuna Inyehu some touches, and she has capitalized on it. That's opened things up as well for other players for Troy. A lot of time remaining here in the fourth quarter, 9:03. A 7-point lead for UAA. Sirowicz into the front court. There's Amelia Long. That pass broken up briefly. Elena Mack able to track it down. Hollingshead calling for it. Hollingshead is fouled. And Tori Hollingshead will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
Foul number 2, Ashley Baez. It's her first.
I think the foul was actually called against, well, they did call it against Baez. I don't think Ashley Baez was anywhere near that. Fortuna Inyehu, I thought, was going to be the player that was called for, but it's Baez that gets charged with it. It's her first. As Hollingshead misses both free throws. Still a 7-point lead. Amelia Long knocked to the floor, gets back up. Dyer got good positioning down low. Elena Mack got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. As Morris throws it in. 10 on the shot clock. Wagner gonna go to work here. Wagner hangs and fires, left it short. Got her own miss. As Wagner will back it out now. As Baez on the drive. Baez can't get the shot to fall. Hollingshead with the board. Amelia Long will push it into the front court. Long will keep it herself. Can't get it to go with the right hand. A very quick one-and-done possession for UAA. As Troy taking their time, setting it up, get it into the hands of Inyehu. Offensive or a blocking foul? Offensive. A little indecisiveness there for the officials. As Fortuna and Inyehu call for the foul. It's the third foul against Inyehu. As Reen into the front court now for the Seawolves. Seawolves scoreless in almost the last 2 minutes of game time here. As Evans with the right hand changes that. First bucket for UAA in the last minute 54. Makes it a 9-point lead for UAA once again. Seawolves tonight, they have led by as many as 20. It was at the end of the first half as Wagner trying to turn the corner against Gamble. Here's Dyer, can't get the shot to fall, tapped into the hands of Jason Gamble. As Gamble here on the near side. Evans trying to use the screen of Hollingshead. Nice job defensively by Wagner. That's Reen now in the paint. Ashlyn Reen. 7 on the shot clock. Evans for a 3. Left it a little short. Went off the top of the backboard, but not over as Reen gets the offensive board. 5 on the shot clock. Evans finds Mack for 3. Reen almost got another offensive board, kept alive and tapped into the hands of Elena Mack. So a couple of extra possessions here for the Seawolves as we go under 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. As Evans off the bounce at the elbow, leans in, tough shot, can't get it to fall. As Fortuna Inyehu pulls down the defensive rebound. Dyer fading away, a little too strong. As Evans, Mack from the corner for 3. Morris out in front. Gonna be an easy bucket for Kyla Morris. To a 7-point lead for UAA as Evans mid-range. Got it, rattles it home. Evans now in double figures, she has 11. 4 players for the Seawolves tonight have 11 points. Long, Evans, Mack, and Hollingshead. Ball loose on the floor as it's picked up and a timeout taken by Troy. Was it a jump ball or a timeout? I think a timeout was taken by the Troy Trojans. So it's not a jump ball.
Timeout, Troy.
Things getting physical here down the stretch. 4:46 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Pro-level performance at work and at home. Right now, save on steel gas and battery blowers. Real Steel. Find yours.
.46 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Seawolves out in front, 64-55. Mentioned that Elena Mack has 11 points, and she keeps the streak of scoring at least 10 points in every game so far this season going. Elena Mack averaging 17.7 points per game so far in the season. Yehu will throw it back out. Guyon now on the perimeter. Under 10 on the shot clock as Wagner hangs on to the basketball here. Wagner at the top of the key. Now three. The three desperation attempt, nowhere close from Pregame. And the Seawolves will get it after the shot clock violation.
Into the game for Troy, number 24, Keelan Morris.
Amelia Long will handle it here. Now give it up to Muranaka briefly. Sirowicz leaning in, knocks it down. Back out to a double-digit lead for UAA. Guyon, the three, quickly cut back down to a single-digit lead. Leilani Guyon with yet another three. Now has 9 points as Muranaka from the right corner can't get it to go, and a foul against the Seawolves as Janiyah Alexander whistled for the foul. It'll be the fourth against Alexander.
Foul number 2 for UAA, Janiyah Alexander.
And as of right now, Janiyah staying on the floor with those 4 fouls. Shalana Wagner crosses the timeline, picked up by Amelia Long. Fans trying to get behind the Seawolves, chanting for some defense, and UAA creates a turnover. Hedda Kune hands it off, and now here's Amelia Long. Feeds it down low to Hedda. Hedda, turnaround shot with the left hand. Can't get it to fall. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Troy. .304 remaining here in the final quarter. Dyer off target that time, gets it back and lays it up and in. As the Troy Trojans trail by 6, and an offensive foul now against UAA against Amelia Long with 2:42 to go.
Foul number 11 for UAA, Amelia Long.
So Long picks up her second foul. And now a chance for Troy to get it to a 1-possession game potentially here if they can knock down a 3. Pregame to throw it in from the baseline. And the short jumper offline by Nyehu. Offensive rebound, however, by Troy. Here's a 3, Pregame, counted and 1 for Brianna Pregame. A potential 4-point play. And the Troy Trojans have stormed all the way back to get within a possession here as they once trailed by 20 and a chance to get within 2.
Into the game for Troy, number 24, Keelan Morris.
Pregame with that 3 now has 5 points, trying to make it 6. Pregame 2 for 2 from the line. Make it 3 for 3, and the deficit is cut down to 2. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Troy has never led in this game. As Evans will find Hollingshead briefly. Here's Evans out on the perimeter with 13 to work. Evans on the drive is fouled, and Jazz Evans will go to the line for 2 shots. Evans yet to shoot a free throw tonight. Seawolves have not gotten to the line a lot. They're 5 of 9 from the line as a team tonight. Troy, on the other hand, they're 13 of 15 from the free throw line. But Evans at the line, a couple of big free throws here. As Evans misses the first. Jazz coming into tonight is 73% free throw shooter on the season. Trying to make it a 2-possession game. Hits 1 out of 2. Back to a 3-point lead.
Into the game for UAA, number 13, Jason Campbell.
Chance for Troy to tie the game up. Game has not been tied since it was 0-0. Peguero off the front of the iron. Rain trying to get the rebound. And a held ball. Ryan McCarthy trying to call timeout. Did he get the timeout? But no, he didn't. The Arrow's going to keep it with Troy.
Jump ball.
So the Trojans will inbound from the baseline. As Wagner to throw it in. Gamble got a hand on it and able to save it. What a play by Jason Gamble. Seawolves will slow it down a little bit, and now, once again, the shot clock not running, so they got to reset it here. But Jason Gamble diving out of bounds, able to save it and keep it alive. As the officials going over to the scores table to reset the shot clock here. There's 1:53 remaining in the fourth. And they actually changed the time now to 1:48 and 24 seconds remaining.
Number 20, Elena Mack.
Seawolves will have the basketball in the front court here. As Long will hand it off. Hollingshead at the free throw line. Mack for 3. Knocked around, it'll stay with UAA. Ryan McCarthy emphatic, wanting a foul against Troy there. As Long to throw it in. Seawolves an opportunity here to kill a little bit more time as well. As Long with 7 seconds, gives it up now. Gets it right back with 3. And an offensive foul against Ashlyn Reen. Second time tonight that Ashlyn Reen has been called for an offensive foul. And it gives Troy the basketball back with 1:13 remaining. Trailing by 3 points. Dyer on the drive, off the window, in and out. Rebound, Hollingshead. As Amelia Long quickly into the front court, under a minute remaining. As Reen Hand it off to Gamble. Evans. Slices through the top of the key. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Long. Can't get it to go. Hollingshead can't get it. And hold on. Is it a shot clock violation? Yes, it is. The shot from Amelia Long never hit the rim. And Ryan McCarthy saying, yes, it did indeed hit the rim. I don't know if it did. Couldn't tell from this angle. And now the officials getting together to discuss this here. And now players are going to go to their benches here. This might be something you can review with 32.3 remaining. Certainly is. Did the ball hit the iron? Ryan McCarthy emphatic that the ball hit the rim from the shot by Amelia Long, and then it became a scramble after that. I don't know if it did. It was close, but I never, at least from this angle, saw it hit the iron. So the officials will take a look at it. And then if it did hit the rim, the possession arrow favors UAA, so I would assume, since there was no possession obtained after that by either team, that it would go to the arrow in this instance to determine who would have the basketball, and it would be UAA who would get it, with 32.3 remaining. Because the call on the floor was a shot clock violation. So they're taking the time to see if the ball hit the rim, which would have reset the shot clock. What a game this has been, as Troy, who had a horrendous first half, trailed by 20 at the break, have come all the way back to get within 3. Seawolves struggling here in the fourth quarter. 9 points on 4 of 15 shooting so far for UAA. Troy, 15 on 6 of 16 shooting. Seawolves being outscored in the second half so far, 45-28. And the officials getting together to discuss here what they saw. And again, they were seeing if the ball hit the rim on the shot. And the officials going to each huddle to tell them. And I don't think there's anything that will come of it. Come over here and give us the quick word.
Shot clock violation.
So shot clock violation confirmed. The shot never hit the rim from Amelia Long, so they'll put a couple of extra seconds back on the game clock. Troy will have the basketball. .349 on the clock. It should be 34.9. There it is. So Troy with the basketball as they trail by 3. Wagner into the front court. Wagner. Count at the bucket and one for Shalana Wagner. And a chance to tie the game up with 23 and a half seconds. As Wagner at the free throw line has 17 points, trying to make it 18 and tie the game. She's 5 of 6 from the line. And the Trojans have come all the way back to tie it. Seawolves can hold for the final shot and potentially win it here. The shot clock is off. Seawolves have 2 timeouts as Amelia Long with it. Picked up by Pregame. As Evans with 8. Evans now with 5. 4 seconds and a timeout going to be taken by UAA. They should add a couple of seconds onto the clock. It should be probably about 4.2 instead of 2.4. Wow. What a tale of 2 different halves this has been. Tied at 67 apiece. As the officials will go to the replay monitor to make sure the time is correct. Well, actually, they're going to adjust the time. I know that for sure. We'll see what the exact amount they put on the game clock is. But the fans here at the Alaska Airlines Center somewhat stunned. When everything was going UAA's way for the first 20 minutes and could do no wrong, the exact opposite here in the second half for the Seawolves. The Troy Trojans, a much different team here in the second 20 minutes. As Ryan McCarthy in the middle of the huddle, drawing up what he wants to run here. Try to set up the game winner. My guess is that they're going to add at least 2 seconds to the clock, would be my guess. From when the whistle came in for the timeout called by Ryan McCarthy to what came off the clock was about 2 seconds. But that's just my guess. Seawolves will have the basketball. They'll have to throw it in here from the near sideline as they put 3.9 on the game clock. So the Seawolves will inbound here with 3.9. Who will throw it in for the Seawolves? You have Max, Sirowich, Evans, Long, and Hollingshead on the floor for UAA. As Elena Mack will throw it in. Seawolves are ready to go. Trojans are still in the huddle. They're still talking things over at the scorer's table. Head coach Sandra Rigby using every second to her disposal. As now Troy breaking the huddle. So a chance for UAA to win it here in regulation. As Mack to trigger the entry pass. Evans with 3. Evans for the win. Left it short, and we're going to OT. So we get some extra basketball here tonight as the Seawolves and Trojans tied at 67. So UAA, who has not trailed in this game, still has not, going to overtime. What a comeback by the Troy Trojans here this evening. As Troy definitely has the momentum going into the overtime. Take a look at the foul situation for both teams. Ashlyn Reen and Janiyah Alexander for UAA each have 4 fouls. Amelia Long and Jason Gamble playing with 3. As Zay Dyer, the only player with 4 fouls for the Trojans so far tonight. As Fortuna and Yehu has 3 fouls. So the Detroit Trojans able to tie the game up on a bucket and a foul from Shalana Wagner. Wagner able to complete the 3-point play. Tie it at 67. Seawolves had a look at it from Evans to try to win the game, but couldn't get the 3-pointer to fall. And now we'll play an extra 5. As Dyer will go up against Hollingshead. And Troy making some last-minute moves here prior to the tip. As the Seawolves will have the opening possession of OT. Green off the dribble. Kicks it back out. Mack for 3. Off the heel of the iron. And the rebound falls into the hand of Baez. Troy looking for their first lead, but Baez turns it right back over. As Amelia Long. Evans, jump stop. Can't get it to fall. It was halfway down and it popped out for Jazz. As Wagner, count it, and 1 for Fortuna and Yehu. It's the first lead of the game for the Troy Trojans. As in Yehu now with an opportunity for a 3-point play, has 17 points, trying to make it 18. It would match Shalana Wagner with 18, and she does. And Troy, for the first time tonight, leads here in overtime. As Dyer will check out, Leilani Guyon will check in. As Long brings it into the front court. It's in on the shot clock. Mack for 3. In and out. Unlucky on the shot. Had a good look out of it. Just couldn't knock it down. 3:40 remaining here in overtime as Figueroa will give it up. Guyon. Pass broken up. Amelia Long, one-on-one with Guyon. Can't get it to fall. Reen with the offensive rebound. Then throws it away. Figueroa with the steal. Figueroa lays it up and in. Seawolves trail by 5. Under 3 minutes remaining here in overtime as Evans. Mack for three, left it short. Rebound, Hollingshead gets the putback. Huge bucket for UAA as Wagner in the front court. Peguero fires away, in and out on the three-point attempt. Amelia Long with the rebound. It's her ninth as Long throws it up ahead. Seawolves will slow it down a little bit here as Long will handle it. Long with 5 seconds. Mack for the tie. Left it short. Elena Mack struggling from behind the arc. Now 3 of 17 from behind the three-point line. Under 2 minutes to play. Wagner over the top of Hollingshead. Can't get it. Off-balance shot by Inwehu. Can't get that one to fall. Mack for three. Hollingshead goes up. The putback offline. Fortuna Inwehu with the defensive rebound. And now Troy will slow it down as we hit 90 seconds remaining. Long reached in, knocked it away from Wagner, and Long called for the foul now. And Amelia Long will pick up her fourth foul with 1:26 to go. Long will check out along with Ashlyn Reen as well. Hedda Kune and Jasa Gamble will check in. As Shalana Wagner at the free throw line. Couple of big shots coming up here. Chance to make it a two-possession ball game. Misses the first. Wagner now 6 of 8 from the free throw line as she walks away. Hits 1 out of 2, 4-point lead. As Kayla Morris checks into the game as Sirowicz lost it, turnover. Dyer lays it up and in. And a foul against Guy onto the backcourt, which will put UAA at the free throw line. It's the 5th team foul against Troy. And so it's a 6-point game, but the Seawolves at the free throw line as Jazz Evans will be at the stripe. Amelia Long and Tori Hollingshead getting set to come back in for UAA. As Hollingshead checks in for Hedda Kune. Ashlyn Reen will check in for Kinsey Sirowicz. Remember, Reen playing with 4 fouls. Long with 4 fouls, as is Jasa Gamble. Evans hits a big free throw. Seawolves as a team tonight, now 7 of 12 from the free throw line. Not shot free throws well this evening as Evans does hit a pair of big free throws as Amelia Long will come back in. Seawolves trail by 4, 75-71. Peguero throws it up ahead. Baez out of the perimeter. Under a minute remaining. On the drive. Baseline jumper. Dyer knocks it down. Dyer now with 14 points. Back out to a 6-point lead as Gamble in the front court. Gamble leans in, able to answer. Seawolves got to get a stop defensively as Gamble almost got the steal. As Peguero into the front court and is fouled by Amelia Long. And she is fouled out of the game. So Amelia Long has fouled out as Long has her night draw to a close. Finishes with 11 points on 5 of 16 shooting. Had 8 assists tonight, did Amelia Long. Long had a tough second half scoring. She had 9 points in the first half on 4 of 6. Finishes with 11 on 5 of 16. As Peguero knocks down the first free throw. Peguero knocks down both. And a timeout taken by UAA. Chance for the Seawolves to get the ball in the front court. So the Seawolves use the timeout to advance the basketball. Seawolves trailing by 6 yet again. UAA tonight from behind the arc, 5 of 29 from behind the three-point line, 17%. 18 of the 29 attempts have come from Elena Mack. Mack will launch the three offline. Missed everything. And now it's Troy who will use a timeout. 30-second timeout. They will also elect to advance the basketball into the front court with 38.8 seconds remaining. Troy Trojans just a couple of possessions away from completing a huge comeback here and advancing to the championship game of the ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout.
Followed by women's basketball in the Great Alaska Shootout at 6:15 p.m.
A lot of action here at the Alaska Airlines Center tomorrow. 4 events happening. Men's basketball at noon against Portland Bible. 3 p.m. UAA volleyball with their final game of the season as they take on Simon Fraser. And then you have the 2 Great Alaska Shootout games in the evening. Shootout games at 6:15 and 8:30 tomorrow. Baez throws it in, knocked away, loose on the floor, and it's picked up by Troy in the backcourt, and a foul against Evans. Seawolves had an opportunity, just couldn't get to the loose ball. So Wagner back at the free throw line. 7 of 9 from the stripe tonight. This is the front end. Wagner trying to make it a 3-possession game, and she does. It's a 7-point lead. Timeout UAA. Burn their last timeout. .45 rebounds tonight by Troy. Seawolves 39 boards. UAA tonight, 22 assists. Troy with 14. Troy with 22 turnovers tonight, but they have overcome those errors to have a 7-point lead here in overtime. Majority of those 22 turnovers occurred in the first half. Free throw shooting, 19 of 23 is Troy. Seawolves have not gotten to the line a lot, 8 of 13 from the free throw line. Trojans leading points in the paint as well, 42-36. I think if you were to talk to Coach Ryan McCarthy about 30 three-point attempts tonight, I would venture to say he wish that his team maybe not have shot many of those. As Evans finds Mack. 3-ball Mack, missed everything, left it short. Shot clock is off. 7-point lead. Seawolves probably not going to foul here. Knocked out of bounds with 16 seconds remaining. The all-time record for a shootout game for 3-point field goal attempts in a game is 33 by Providence versus Clemson back in 1994. Seawolves are 2 off that mark with 31. 8 seconds remaining. Peguero will dribble it out. An individual 17. Elena Mack finished the game with 23-point attempts. And the Seawolves come up on the short end in overtime. What an impressive comeback by the Troy Trojans, as they did not lead until overtime, as they win 80-73. The Seawolves had a 20-point lead at the end of the first half and saw that evaporate here in the second, as UAA in the fourth quarter couldn't hang on to the lead. And then in overtime, Troy able to pull away and win by the final score 80-73. Seawolves tonight, they were led by the 14 points of Jazz Evans on 5 of 13 shooting, also was 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Seawolves also got 13 points from Tori Hollingshead on 5 of 7. Amelia Long and Elena Mack finished the evening with 11 points apiece. Solana Wagner led the way for the Troy Trojans with 20 points on 6 of 15 shooting. Fortuna and Yehu finished with 18 points, had a huge second half for Troy to help power the comeback. But the Troy Trojans will advance to the championship game as they will take on North Dakota State tomorrow at 8:30. UAA, they will take on the Catamounts of Vermont in the third place game. That game slated to start at 6:15. Well, what an impressive first couple of games here in the 2024 ASRC ConocoPhillips Great Alaska Shootout. More action to come up here from the Alaska Airlines Center tomorrow. A lot of stuff happening. If you can't make it in person, the UAA Seawolves YouTube channel has you covered, as we will have all the games and matches streaming live right here online. So until tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, I'm Keaton Homer signing it off. Seawolves with a heartbreaking loss. Troy with a huge comeback as they win 80-73.